Thank you. All right. So before we even start, I'd like to know how your week has been. Maybe you can even type there in the chats. Yes, and I'm gonna give a few of you to tell us how their week was, how their week has been, before I get my tools ready. So just raise your hand and then I'm gonna unmute you and then just tell us how your week has been so far. Sharon, yeah, Sharon gone.
Morning, Zablon, and hi, Gerald. Morning, everyone. And thanks for the opportunity. My week has been great, but also challenging. With all the uh, failure to access LMS challenges and just trying to get our head around the different modules, the assignments that are due, the quizzes, and everything else. And on top of that, our own personal lives to manage as well. So it's been great, but challenging as well. But I'm excited to be here and to learn and to to interact with everyone. Thank you very much.
Great. Don't worry, Sharon. We're in this together. Next we have now a gent. Where are the gents now? Gents. Joshua Mwendo. Hi, Joshua. Joshua, are you there? You can unmute.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Joshua. I'm Joshua Mwendo. I'm from Kenya. Are we allowed to ask questions?
I'd given you this chance to maybe tell us how your week was. We'll come to the questions. Don't worry.
Uh, oh yeah, my week has been so fine. Learning how to use Python actually. Um, Making some websites using Python only and HTML. Yeah, so my week has been fine. I won't lie. Um, but few challenges to the LMS, but it's fine. We are many, so we have to ask questions too. So yeah, everything is good.
All right. Cool. Thank you so much to those all of you who raised their hand. You can now drop. I'm gonna give you another chance. Don't worry. I'm gonna give you another chance to speak. So yeah, I understand this week has been rough for most of you. The LMS are changing to Arabic. All right. All I wanted to say is sometimes see it as an opportunity. Maybe to that sign that you've been waiting for to start learning Arabic. Okay. Don't panic when you see certain things change. It was a feature we were trying on our end, but it took a hard left on us. All right. But don't worry, our devs are working tirelessly, okay, to ensure um they the LMS is up and working. All right. So yeah, just take it as an opportunity to learn Arabic, learn a new language. All right. Yeah, it's a new sign. Okay, so I want to start today's presentation, but before I start today's presentation, I just want to do a recap of last week assignment. Uh, uh, a majority of you performed well, but a few of you failed. I don't know where was the challenge, but I just want to do a recap so that you understand maybe how to do it, all right? So that we work uh, together. Now, let me see if I can access. I hope my screen is visible on your end. All right. So, okay. Uh, we can all see my screen, right? Not yet. All right. Just give me a minute. Then why it's lagging. Screen share. All right, there it is. It's now visible, right? So once you go to the LMS and then you click assignment, this is the first place that you're directed to, right? Yeah, and then you accept the assignment. So this is how you accept the assignment. So once you accept the assignment, just like that, you click this link, right? and then you just come to this green button, and then you copy this link. All right. After that, there you come to where you open your CMD, the terminal. All right. Just type CMD, just like that. Move to your desktop, and then create a new directory. I just name it. Give it any name. All right. I'm gonna call mine class, and then like that, CD class. Once you do that, okay. So yeah, I know those who we've interacted with along this week, I told you rename it database. All right. So everything should be in the folder database. So just give it any name as long as it won't confuse you with other folders. So git clone like that, paste that link over there, press enter. All right. Once you do that, it will be cloned or downloaded. Once it is downloaded, CD change directory to where? Week 1, like that, right? And then open your favorite IDE, whichever IDE you're using, like that's gonna be opened. I believe mine is visible on your end also. Okay, I want to maximize this one. There it is. So come to the README part. This is where you get all the questions. So right now it's there are two questions, right? Write an SQL query to create a new database called SalesDB. So open your SQL Workbench just like that. And then once you open, add your password like that. Then this is our working area. So I'll start by creating a new database called sales. Create database, all right, called SalesDB, like that. Execute, how do you say we execute? Start counting these icons at the top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Start counting from the left. 1, 2, 3. Execute. Now, once you execute, you get a green check, all right? Here at the bottom that tells you whatever command you're written at the top was successfully executed. And then come to the left pane, refresh. Once you refresh, there it is. Ta-da! Just like that. Now, once you do that, copy this, all right? Right click, copy, because you've confirmed it's working, right? Come back to your Visual Studio Code, and then the answers to your SQL, then paste it there, just like that. Then save that, all right? Now, let's go to question 2. So question 2 was about, was a little bit technical, where we wanted you to think outside the box, all right? So we wanted you to start by creating a database that's called demo, all right? So write an SQL query to drop data, or delete the database called demo. So first things first, come back to your SQL Workbench, create a new database. I don't need to change all this. I just need to change here the word and then to be demo, and then execute like that. Once you execute, refresh, there it is. You've confirmed it's there, right? We've all confirmed it's there. It's here. It's called demo, all right? So come back to the question, read it again. Write an SQL query to drop the database called demo. So what are you supposed to do? Just interchange here with drop, just like that. And then count the icons at the top again, 1, 2, 3. Now, take note of what will happen on this side. Right now, there are 3, right? Please pay attention. I can see some of you are not paying attention. Yes, you, yes, pay attention. Now, there are 3 over here, right? 1, 2, 3. Now, once you execute, please take note of what will happen. All right? Please take note. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da, just like that, just disappeared. All right? So copy this like that. Okay, right click and then copy. Copy, come back here, answers to SQL. Now, like that, just taking me less than 2 minutes to complete this. All right? So this is how you're supposed to do the assignment. So come back to your SQL Workbench. These are some of the commands you're taught in the first 2 weeks of software engineering essentials, right? So git status, what does that mean? It's once you write this, you're able to know which file was modified. The name of the file is here at the top. It's written here. It's in red. Okay. So you start by writing git add, okay? What's the name of the file? Answers.sql, all right? Press enter, like that. Once I read again git status, you'll notice something just changed to green. This means that git is now tracking whatever changes we've made to that file. So what you need to do is git commit with a message like that. I'm not typing. Git commit with a message, and then I've been telling some of you, please picture this: you're a software engineer and you're going through someone else's code. How would you want the software engineer to understand what you've just done? To do that, right here, a very nice message, a message that has context in it. So, for example, if I'm the one who was doing this, I would have written this week week one week one submission assignment submission already. Okay, if someone comes to this code, they'll be able to understand what I just did. And then once I press enter, all these changes will be what? There. And then to now, these changes are now in your computer, but we need them to be where? To be in cloud. In this cloud, we call it GitHub. So you need just to write git push, just like that. Then all the changes will be there. So once we do that, all will be set. And that's how you're supposed to do week one assignment. All right. Now let's introduce today's content. I've gone through week one, so if I was too fast, just don't worry, the recordings will be provided. You can always go through the recordings, download the recordings, and then just pause it, and then write, pause it again, write until you understand. Great. So allow me to share my presentation slides. Okay, this week. Okay, why is it not sharing? All right, there. Okay, welcome once again to the database design and programming SQL class week 2. Now, so you as a learner, what you learn at the core of this lesson, you're going to learn the DDL, what you call the data definition languages, okay? Remember, last week we only touched on it, all right? We only brushed the surface, right? So this week we're going to go deeper and then understand some of these commands and what they do. We're also going to practice how to create a table with common data type. Okay, I believe you went ahead and read all the data types that you have in SQL. We're also going to learn how to write SQL syntax and the structure for data retrieval. Right, the next thing we are going to understand is how to use the SQL commands to filter data in a database. We're also going to write SQL queries to retrieve data and filter data from a sample database, my favorite. All right, so first things first, let's start with the first thing. Why is it not going to the next? Right. Okay. Yes, database design process. Now, the database design process, it's broken down into 3 major steps. We have the requirement analysis, conceptual design, and the logical design. Let's start with the requirement analysis. Now, you as a software developer, this is where you determine what the database will store and how the data items relate to each other. That's what we call requirement analysis. So, for example, I want to create a database on school. So, the school, what will the school data be about? We'll have tables relating to teacher, table relating to student marks, the school records, and everything. All right. That's what we call requirement analysis. So you gather information about what the database will hold. All right. And then we go to the conceptual design. All right. So the conceptual design, once we know the database requirements, we distill them into a formal description. All right. of the database design. So you start writing now. What does this database, what is this database going to store? Start writing down, all right? Now, this database is about school. What will the school database be about? What are some of the tables we are going to store inside our database? Now, the next and the final one is the logical design. So with the logical design, we map the database into an existing DBMS, okay? It doesn't matter which DBMS you use. Any of the DBMS that you're going to use, it's okay. So remember, we also mentioned some of the popular DBMS. You have Postgres, Oracle, MySQL, and many others. So finally, we map the database into an existing DBMS and database table. So I'm going to show you some of the tools that we use for logical design. One of my favorite tools we call that I use a lot of it's called I'm trying to remember the name. Oh, Draw.io. Don't know why the name disappeared. Draw.io. So I use Draw.io quite a number of times to do some of my projects, just to design. Sometimes I don't have like the clear architecture, so I use it as a rough edit where I just want to sketch something and then just see how it's gonna appear. So Draw.io. Maybe if you are in your browser, you can just search there, Draw.io. Right. So let's learn the data definition languages. We have a few: create, alter, truncate, and then drop. All right. So data definition language, or the DDL commands in SQL, are used to define and manage the structure of database. So in simply, I like to shorten this. They bring database objects into existence. If you meet with someone today and they ask you what are DDL, just tell them they bring database objects into existence. All right. Let's write somewhere. I can tell some of you are not writing. Now write. DDL command. These are commands. Yeah, someone is saying they can't hear. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm if I'm audible. All right, cool. Maybe the ones who are saying they can't hear me, it could be maybe try increasing the volume. All right, cool. Now, yes, now right. I've said DDL command. These are commands that bring database objects into existence. And some of the commands that fall under DDL, we have create, alter, truncate, and drop. I hope you've written down. Now, so this is the whole structure of the DDL command. So we have create, alter, truncate, comment, rename, drop. So let me start with the create. What does the create do? With create, it allows you to create a new table in a database. It's simple like that. Create allows you to create a new table in a database. We have alter. So with alter, it has a lot of functions. So number one, some of the functions that alter can do, you can modify a column name, you can add a column, you can delete a column. So you can add a new column in a table, you can rename a column in a table, you can modify a column, you can also delete a column in a table. Are we together? React with a thumbs up if you are okay with that. With okay function, with the alter function, react with the thumbs up. Those who are not reacting, I can see you. Please just make sure you're not sitting comfortable, because the moment you sit comfortable, it starts switching. Yes. Write somewhere. Don't just sit comfortable. Great. Now we have the truncate. With truncate, it removes data but keeps table structure intact. Okay, so don't worry. I'm going to show you how these commands work later on when you get our hands dirty with writing, when you are going to get to practice hands-on, all right, using our SQL workbench. All right, so the next one that we have is drop. So with drop, it deletes the table and all its values together. You as a software developer you must be very careful when executing such commands because this action may not be reversible. All right. So we have the comments. Hey, I've been going through your assignment submission, and you guys were writing very funny comments right there. So let me tell you, with comments it's very crucial for clarity and context, making queries easier to understand and maintain. It helps explain complex logic, document changes, and justify uh, certain choices. In SQL, you can add comments in two ways. Oh, okay. Let me just jump this. We have comments. I'm gonna come back to those. So the comments, it's either single line or multiple line. Okay. So we have single line comments, then multiple line. All right. Uh, let's come back to a new. I think we've covered all. So we have the rename. The rename is just renaming a table. So if your table is called student and you want to rename it to maybe teachers, you can use the rename command. Okay. So let's learn about DML commands. So the DML, these are the most simplest commands. So with DML, we have the select, update, delete, insert. So data manipulation language commands in SQL are used to operate on existing objects. So when you mean objects, this could be table, procedures, or anything. Okay, so we have the select, update, delete, and insert. So what does the select do? With select, it is used to select data from a table in a database. With update, you update data in a table, just as the name goes, update, just updating, right? And then we have the delete. So to delete, you're just deleting a row from a table. And also have the insert. So what does the insert do? Insert data into a table. So these are all the commands that fall under DML. So let's talk about the lock and the call. So what does the lock do? So lock is a flag associated with a table. Okay, but SQL allows you a client session to explicitly, okay, explicitly acquire a table lock to prevent other session from the same table during specific period. So you want to lock your table to prevent other users from accessing that table. That's when you use the lock command. All right. They also have the call command. So with the call, it's mostly used with the procedures. Okay, as you advance, you're going to learn to be using some of these commands like log, call when writing procedures. All right. Great. So let's get some answer that. Now, I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to open your SQL Workbench. So let's start with the simplest method. Okay. Okay. Open your SQL Workbench. Open it. Yeah. 1 minute. 1 minute to open your SQL Workbench. Okay. Believe everyone has opened the SQL Workbench. All right. Great. I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, but before we even open an SQL Workbench, uh, let's come back to the database design process, right? So I'm gonna open Draw.io. Allow me to open Draw.io. So that's Draw.io. So just go to a new tab and then write Draw.io and then follow the steps that I tell you. So create a new diagram. It doesn't matter what name you're going to give it, and then just create, just like that. I've opened my Draw.io. Believe we are all in the same page. All right, so let's start with the design. So someone give me a database that you like us to design. Yeah, now react to in the comments. Just tell me uh, a database you'd like us to design. Just tell me. Yeah. I'm reading the comments right now. Okay, I see someone saying food, but you guys just had breakfast. Okay, let's go with the hotel. Looks like you guys are. I'm going with your suggestion, right? So let's design what you call a hotel database. All right. So this is not a way we design, but I've just written that like that, right? So I'm gonna show you how you structure the table. So do you see where it's written entity? No, no, yeah, the entity relation. Just pick that table, and then so in our hotel, what kind of data would we want to store in our database? Number one, we have customers, right? We have a customer table. True. The other one will be room, room service or the type of service, and then the type of room. All right. So tell me, what are other kind of data can we store in our database, in our hotel database? Yeah. Now let's make the session engaging. Great. I can see food menu. Yeah. Thank you, Glenn. Name of staff. That's amazing. Read one. Type of food. Amazing. Inventory. That's great, John. Michael, zoom in, please. All right. How do I zoom? Um, okay. If I zoom in, it takes me around the edge of this software. Okay. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I believe that is perfect, right? All right. So we have our hotel database. Let me interchange this one with a more rectangular one. So we want to design our hotel database. So table number one, let's call it customer. So what are some of the attributes can we store about our customer? Number one, we can store unique ID. Why? Because we want to differentiate one customer from another. We want to know this one is Gerald, this one is Zablon. Those are two different customers, right? We can use unique ID, right? Now, another feature that we can store about the customer, we can store their first name, right? The other one can be last name, okay? And then the gender, all right? We can also store any other thing. Okay, let's just leave it like that. I saw you guys saying, let's copy this one. Okay, not copy, but duplicate. And then let's do another one called room type, room, like that, right? So we can have unique IDs to be able to differentiate one room from another one, right? So we can say here, room, the name of the room, also the type, right? So we can have the type of room. Is it for a single person or is it a shared room? And then the other thing we can say the number, bed type. Yeah, most people like the king size bed, the bed type. So come back to our SQL workbench. Okay, I believe you've opened. Now let's start designing. So we've designed two tables, right? Okay. So with the two tables, now start by creating a database. All right. Okay. Remember, what did you say a database is? Write for me the definition there. What did you say a database is? It's a collection of what? Let me see those who are reading. Wait, I'm waiting for your answers. Yes. Hey, a collection of, you guys have stopped from there. A collection of what? I want you to continue. Just give me the whole sentence. A collection of, hey. You guys are not reading. Hey. Yes. Let me give this one a shout out. Noah, great work. Yes, I can see you are going through the LMS content. What did you say a database is? Because I won't start if you guys are not telling me what a database is. Why are guys stopping from? It's a collection of what? Yes, you've written for me a collection of. Finish the whole sentence because I want you guys to understand what a database is. Because I might be talking, but you guys are not even aware what a database is. So please tell me what a database is. All right. You can even research. Now, let's create a new database. Create. Leave up zoomed in. Create database. Let's call it hotel. Add like that. How did we say we execute? From here, there, then refresh over here. There it is. There's our database, right? So once we've done that, first things first, now we want to create a table for customer, right? So the first thing I want you to write is you're telling the server to use what? Use hotel. That's the name of the database. So we're telling the server, use this database, or we are working with this database, all right? So remember we said what? DDL commands, they bring database objects into existence. So start by writing what? Create table called what? Customer, like that. Take a deep breath, open a bracket, right? Go to the next line, all right? Now, the first things first, ID, and then, so this is the first attribute that we're going to associate with this customer. Then, what data type will the ID be? Now, this data type is of integer type, okay? Comma. Now, we want to also store the first name of this customer, like that. It's of variant char, all right? 100, like that. Add a comma. We also want to store the last name of this customer, last name, like that. Also a variant char of 100, like that. We also say gender, also a variant char, 100. Okay, this can be 50, like that. Then close our top bracket. Okay, are we together up to that point? If you're all together, react to the thumbs up so that I know we are together. If you're also writing, please just make sure you write. Again, please don't sit comfortable. The moment you start sitting comfortable, you'll forget everything that I've just said. Okay? So please just take an initiative of even writing down. Just write down. If I'm going fast, just write. Okay? I'm sure with how I'm talking, you're able to write as I talk. So just make sure you're writing or noting somewhere. So this is how we create a table. These are some of the attributes that we want to associate with this customer. All right. So once we execute, we're going to get a green check at the bottom. All right. What we call the logs. Now, you as a software developer, you're supposed to understand what these logs mean, because you're going to be called in a random day and be told the database is not working, or the database has failed, or the system is down. You see, like how you guys always tell us the LMS is not working, because the first thing our software developer does is go through the database and try to understand what are some of the queries that were executed. All right. Yes. Now, once we execute, we said we execute from where? From the top. Start counting from the left side. 1, 2, 3. Execute. Once you execute, come to the here at the bottom of this page, all right, or this workbench. You get a green check. Now, there's an action output. We call this an action output. Okay, it's more like a log, a simple log. It says what? Create table dash 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 that. Then you get a green check, meaning what? Whatever you wrote at the top has been successfully executed. All right. So you get the message here and then the time it took. All right. So right now we can see this table. All right. Our database is empty. What do we need to do? Just come to where it's written schemas in bold. Again, refresh. Once we refresh, click like that, and there it is. There's our table. Are we together? How many have been able to create the database? Just react to the thumbs up if you've been able to create a database and also a table, so that I know we are together in this. Perfect. So once you create a table, all right, just like that, that's how our table looks like. Right now, it doesn't have anything, okay? Then I'm going to show you how to populate it with data, all right? Just make sure you don't leave, because later on, I'm going to show you how to populate it with sample database, all right? And also how to import and export. Now, the next thing I want to show you is what? Let me go back to the slides. So I've shown you how you do the requirement analysis. So the requirement is, I want to create a school database. That's the requirement, simply, all right? Then the conceptual design, you start writing down, what will this database be about? It can be anything. It can be a market database, a school database, mall, e-commerce, anything. And then the logical design is where you start creating the table. Now, this is the logical design. Whatever we did here is what you call the logical design. Okay. And then this is what you call the conceptual design. You bring the concept into existence. Are we together? React with a thumbs up. Perfect. So, the slide. So we've touched on create, right? So I'm going to show you the alter, truncate, and drop, but this will come later once we fill our table with data. So let's talk about the DML, the data manipulation. I've already touched on it, right? So we have the select, update, delete, the insert. Now, let's go to the insert. What did I say insert does? Insert does what? It insert table data into a table. Now, let's go and use it now. Come back to where? Come back to our SQL workbench. Are we together? Are we somewhere? Are we there? Great. Yeah, I see those who are not reacting. I wonder what you're doing. Those who are not even commenting, what are you guys doing? Oh, those saying we are lost. Where are you lost? Kindly just tell me so that I know where to repeat. Oh, I'm too fast. Oh, okay. Where do you want me to start from? Okay, from creating the table. All right. All right. So let me start again. Great. You said I'm too fast. Now, are we together up to this point? I've said database design process is broken down into 3 major steps. We have the requirement analysis, the conceptual design, logical design, right? So with requirement analysis, okay, this is where you gather the information. What kind of database do you want to create? So what kind of database? Now, give me any kind of database that you want me to talk about. Now, think of any database that you want me to talk about. Now, type. The ones who are saying, I'm too fast. Now, give me a database that you want me to talk about, please. Hospital. All right, cool. So let's go with the hospital, right? So with hospital, what kind of information you as a database administrator or you as a software engineer do you want to store in a database, in a hospital database, right? So number one, we can store information relating to what? The patient, right? And how do we differentiate, or how does a doctor differentiate this patient from this patient? We have what we call primary key. What did I say primary key are? They're used to uniquely identify a row from another row, right? Now, another attribute relating to a patient can be the patient's name, right? Their age, right? Also, maybe their height, weight. Do they take records about the weight? Oh, okay, let's just add it for the vibes. So weight. Any other thing they usually store about a patient? Just tell me if I've forgotten. So we have the name, age, height, and weight, right? So, for example, if we are to create this kind of table, come back to our what? Our SQL workbench, right? So I'm gonna clear this, right? Write this, create database called what? Hospital, right? Like that. And then how do we execute? We execute from the top, like that. You start counting them from the top. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I believe we're all on the same page, right? Now, once you do that, refresh, there is a hospital. Just appeared like that. Now, how do we tell our server we want to work? There's a list of database that are over here. We have sales, hotel, hospital, but we want to tell the server which database I am now, me as a software developer, currently working on, right? So first things first, we start by writing what? Use, okay? You start to tell the server, use what? Use hospital, right? Right now, hotel is in bold. Please take note of what will happen once I execute this. What will happen? Hospital has gone back to be bold. Are we together up to that point? Yes? React? If you're all together, great. Now, once you do that, press enter. Okay, now write this, create table called patient, like that, open that, okay, and then we call that ID, all right, and then of data type integer. Then we can say this is our primary key, like that, comma, and then we said first name or name of this patient, which can be a variant car. If you're wondering where this the variant char, the int are coming from, remember we say these are data type. All right. So once we do that, we have age, which is int. What else? Weight. This one is decimal, like that. It takes in two values. No, let's take in 4 values with 2 decimal precision, like that. And also the height, decimal. Taking like that, though I don't know, is someone like that, and then 2 values, like that. Okay, I forgot to add a comma here. Close our table like that. That's how the table patient will look like. Once I execute again from the top, because now we're just creating a table, all right? So once I click here, please take note of what will happen, like that. What will happen? We get a green check here at the bottom, right? Now, once I refresh here, just like that, then you see our table patient, okay? Then once you click there, you're able to see ID, name, age, weight, height, right? Are we together? Have you all understood what has just happened? Those who are saying I'm fast, are you guys able to understand now? Great. Now, that's how the table patient will look like. So I've taught you again the requirement, the conceptual, and the logical. Always pay attention to those 3 things. Will be asked one day when you're going for an interview. What are the 3 types of, or the 3 categories of database design, because you have to understand those. Now, we've touched on what? The create. So let's go with the insert, right? So to insert, you insert data into a table. So first things first, come back to where? Our SQL workbench. We have our table here, which we were trying before. All right, let's go with it so that you complete. Now, I'll write here, let me zoom in. Use what? Use hotel. That was the first one that we were working with, right? Now, first things first, start by writing insert into, all right? The name of the table is called customer. Like that. Open a bracket and then write the columns that you want to add data. You see like how the Excel is, where you write at the top, where you write the name, the email, and then you start writing. It's the same thing we are doing, but now using what you call SQL. All right, great. So ID, and then we have also the name. Do we have the name? No. Let me see. It was first name and what? Oh yeah, first name, last name, gender. Great. So we have the first name, like that. We also have the last name, like that. And finally, we have what? Gender. Like that. Close that bracket. Press enter and then save values. Open another bracket. Now start specifying 1, comma. The name of this person can be John. And then maybe I'm gonna last name Doe. Their gender is what? Male, right? Like that. Close it or add a comma. Let's create another one. Let's just add 2. So number 2 will be Audrey. And then the last name can be what? Smith. Like that. This one is female. Like that. We terminate it now. So I've just created 2 fields for you. I'll show you as an example. Let's execute. How do we execute? We execute it from the top. Let me zoom out for you to see. There it is, because I believe that is visible. Great. Now insert into the name of the table name, right? Then the IDs that you want to insert into. Where am I getting them from? The table customer. So we have the ID, the first name, the last name, and then the gender. So once I execute this, like that, great, we get what? An error. Okay, again, as I said, don't panic when you see such kind of error. It's okay. I know why I got that error, because I highlighted that. So execute again from the top, and then just like that, we get what? A green check. All right. So we've been able to populate it with a sample data. Let's refresh. Just like that. There we have our table with the 2 fields that we have to insert. So we have the column, the row. Column, 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 row, row, row. Right? Are we all together? Are we together, guys? React if you're okay. All right, cool. Now the next thing I want to show you is what? So we've used insert, right? Now let's go to the select. So what does the select do? It fetches data from a table. So come back to SQL workbench. So let's write this. Use hotel. Select all from customer. Like that, semicolon. Now, once execute, what will I get? Just like that, it appears, right? So we select, it fetches all the data from a table. So when you see an asterisk, it means fetch everything. We can even start by fetching, we can even specify the columns that we want. We can say We only want the first name and last name, like that. Once I execute, what will I get? Just the first name and the last name. Are we together? Okay, so that's how you can use the select. So let's go with which other command? Let me see. Anyone who's lost? Anyone who is still behind? Yeah, if you say me, please tell me where the challenge is. I'm rushing. But okay. I'll repeat again. The part for insert. I'm still on insert. Okay. So I won't rush. Let's come back here. Where is it? Here. So our database is called what? Hotel, right? Are we together? We're all together up to that point, right? So remember what I said the insert command does is to insert data into a table. So the moment you write insert into and then you specify the table name. Our table name is called customer. All right. So this is the name of the table. And then here I'll have to specify what column or which column do I want to add data into. Are we together? So the columns that I have in this table is ID, the first name, the last name, and the gender. All right. So the values that I want to store inside this table, number one is John Doe, okay? Such that if someone wants to retrieve all the information of a customer called John, they'll be able to retrieve from the customer table. Are we together up to that point? So I can go on and on and on and install thousands and thousands of records, all right? Yes, so this is how you can install. So the values is that and that and that, and then that and that and that. So Audrey Smith, female. Do you know why I'm writing this in form of strings? Anyone? Anyone who doesn't understand? I'll explain. Okay, I see someone mentioning schemas. So a schema, okay, I'm gonna give you the schema definition. But all right, let me just say it. So what's the schema? Please write. So if you ever hear the term schema, what does it mean? A schema is a blueprint that defines how data is organized in a table. You see, like how before they build a house, it's called who? The architecture usually comes with a blueprint. Now the schema works the same way in our database. All right. So a schema is what? A blueprint, just a blueprint that defines how data is organized in a database. It's just a blueprint, okay, a structure, and then how that data will be. So let me explain. So what are some of these structures? You see, like how when creating this table, for example, the type of ID is what? Integer, okay, because I want unique numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that. That's why we write integers. Because it's a string, that's why we're writing the data type varchar. Okay, again, where did I say we get all these data types? If you Google, let me open here. Data type. All right, so these are some of the data types you can get. So we have the varchar. The varchar is what? A variable length string. Again, I said what? You read this, right? Remember, guys, last week I said what? You guys go through this and then understand what are some of these data types. Because we have medium text, we have text, any text, we have that, bit, bool, boolean, integer. Yeah, I may not be able to cover all these, but if you go on your own, if you have some time, just go through them, understand. You want me to share this link? All right, copy that. Where is that? Let me share here. there. Just read through, all right? Don't be afraid of researching, okay? So let's come back here to our SQL workbench. We have learned what the insert does and also what the create do. So let's go to where? Let's go to, should we update? Okay, let's update the slides, the DML, alter. Okay, let's go with the alter and then truncate. We'll follow and then I'll come back. So the alter does what? So as I said, the alter, you can either rename, okay, a column. You can either modify a column or you can delete a column completely if you want to do away with the column. So with the alter, you start by writing the word alter because it's a unique, all right, unique name. So once you write alter and then you specify the table name and then you change. Let's change. Oh, I'll come and remove all this. So, okay, alter, then specify the table name, alter table custom, right? And then we can change one column or we can alter any column or we can add an extra column. So let's start by adding. So initially our table had what? Had how many? 1, 2, 3. Only, okay, 4 columns. Now let's add another one. Add age, all right? So the age is going to be of integer, right? Yeah, just like that. And then we can execute. So we're adding a new column. So once I execute, we get what? A green check over here. If I retrieve our table again using the select, because now we've already learned about the select. So let's write the select all from customer, like that, just like that. There is age. We've added age, right? Using the alter. So that's one of the function of alter, adding a new column. Let's see another function of alter. So for example, if I want to, let me see, to rename maybe the age or I add an extra X, we can do this. Alter, right? Alter table, customer, and then change, okay, age to maybe age like that or ages, all right? And then maybe let's give it a different data type, ovarian char, maybe a 50, like that. Then execute, great, just like that. We're able to change. Once execute again, we're gonna get what? Let's select, using the select all from custom, like that. There it is, ages. Have you guys noticed any change? All right, let's go to the next one. The drop, okay, the deleting of the column. Let's say we want to do away with this column, okay? So to do away, we can use, it's very simple, by the way. Where were we? Okay, it is here. So clear that. So to delete a column, let's say we want to do away with a column. So alter table, the name of the table is called customer. Okay. All right. And then drop, right, column. The name of the column is called ages, like that. Once execute, just like that, we get a green check. I hope you're reading these logs that you're getting. Great. And then select all from customer. What do we get? That column has disappeared. Are we together? If you're okay with that and all the function of the alter, react with the thumbs up. Thank you to the ones who are reacting. I hope no one is sitting comfortable. Yeah, great. Now let's do some updates, right? Which other one? Which other one? Let's come back to the DML. So we've touched on create, we've touched on alter. I'm going to show you, because this, I want this to be the last one, the truncate and the drop. Let's go to the DML, where I want to show you the update. Okay, we've touched on select, we've touched on insert. Let's now work on update and delete. So come back here. So we want to update our table, right? So to update, you start by writing update, all right? And then the table name. So let me remove everything, because we're working with the hotel, right? The customer table, all right? So first things first, we want to update. Let's say, for example, let's go to where we have, let's change maybe John's name to be Peter, all right? Peter Domain. So to do that, we'll use update. So I'll say update like that, the name of the table, customer, and then set, all right? Set what? Set maybe first name. First name is equals to Peter, like that. And then where, okay, I've introduced a new clause called where, but don't worry, I'm going to explain it to you. ID is equals to 1, like that, add a semicolon. Then once I execute, take note of what will happen in the output. Just like that, we get a green check. So what will happen if I select all from customer? Initially, it was John, right? But now we've changed it to Peter using what? The update command. So that's how you can use the update command to update the multiple rows. Are we together, guys? Yes. So update customer set first name, that using the where condition. All right. So let's delete. So with delete, it's very simple. To delete, you just delete. So we write delete table. Okay, delete. I'm even losing the track of the commands. So we have the delete. So to delete is just to delete. So I know right now you're confused between delete and drop. So what does the delete do? You can even come and search here. What's the difference between drop and delete in MySQL? All right, there we have it. So drop commands in SQL delete the entire database objects. And then whereas the delete commands remove specific rows. All right. So let's open here. Okay, again, never be afraid of researching. So with delete, this is how you write the delete. Delete from the name of the table and then where condition. So for example, for instance, our case will be delete. Okay, we can delete Peter, right? So delete from customer. Let me delete from customer where ID is equals to 1. All right. So if I execute this, we get a green check here at the bottom. So let me retrieve everything like that. There it is. So we've learned the DML. All right. We've also learned the DDL. So let's come back to the truncates. I want to show you something different. But before, I want to increase the, let me change this. 3, 4. I want to increase the number of rows. Don't worry if they are repeated. I just want to show you how the truncate works. So if I select everything, we have Audrey, John, right? So what will happen if I write the word truncate, all right? So with truncate, remember I said what? The truncate removes data but keeps the table structure intact. Okay, so that's part of the what? Where it is. So it's here, the data definition language. So let's use the truncate. So truncate, what will happen? Right now, our table is full of data, right? So truncate table customer, like that, semicolon, execute from the top. Let me remove some of these things. Once I run this, we get a green check here. And then select all from customer, like that. Once I run it, now our table is empty. All right. So just like that, when you use the truncate, it deletes every data that's inside your table. Are we together? So with the drop commands, now the final one, the drop is the drop. Oh yeah, it is. So with the drop, it deletes the entire table. So please pay attention to what will happen once I write drop table customer. So let me remove all of this and then drop, okay, table customer. So please take note of what will happen. Right now we can all see the customer, right? So once I execute this from the top, what will happen? Now our hotel database is empty and it doesn't have any table called the customer. Just like that, we've been able to work with the create, alter, drop, and all these commands that fall under DDL. We've also worked with the DML, the select, update, delete, and insert. Let's take a break, 5-minute break, and then I'll come back with more with where the order by and the rest. So yeah, who would like to play music for us? Anyone would like to play music for us? Okay. If I give you a chance, please be ready to share a screen. Then you play nice music, and please, just make sure the music is clean. All right. I don't want to be sued, so just make sure the music is clean. All right. Hey, so many guys. You guys want to be our DJ. Who's gonna be the DJ here now? Tekla. Tekla, are you there? Tekla Jebet. Tekla, going once. Tekla is not there. So let's go to the other person. Andrew Musau. Andrew, are you there? Andrew? Hey, these guys will raise their hand, and if I'm giving you a chance, you don't have to speak. Please lower your hand, Percy. To Miso. Yes, to Miso. Okay, let me just play the music. You guys want to play the music? Um,
Oh yeah, ow, bust down, beside, ow, I'm a logo, die, Cash money, I'm a yummy job. Young Soki, I'm a no day done. Bakali push you go the ball. Past 90, my jet on. Sometimes me, I pray to the Lord. That will be done in my life with the door. Many things I know fit talk. But if it's me, I don't wanna be poor. I'm a yummy, shano me. They go by the they grab on my body like scooty.
all right, we are back. Please come back now. Please come back now. So yeah, let's go to another exciting section. So in a few, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. I want you to access your LMS, and then I want to know by show of hands, how many of you managed to do this weekly code challenge? Yes. Yeah. How many were able to do this? The movie database challenge. Let's do this together. Build and query a simple database about movies and actors. So create two tables, movies and actors. So all these, you're supposed to start reading the content from here, select wildcards, filter, order by lesson, and then come and do the weekly code challenge. But let's just do the weekly code challenge. So we start by creating the two tables, the actors and the movie. All right. So first things first, I've taught you the database design process. All right. So you're from this, you've already been given how the table structure will look like. So there's no point of going again to design. So let's just go to our SQL workbench. So come back here. I'm gonna delete the two database because you're not now using the two database. So drop hotel, drop database, hotel, like that. The other one is hospital. Okay. Drop database. Why is it not disappearing? Cost. Oh, okay. It's written the wrong way. Like that. Yeah, there it is. I also want to delete the other ones called the cells. Just make it clean, okay? There. So remove the other one because now the other one is for backend, the Cs. That one is for system configuration. Please don't change it. Now, so going by our weekly challenge, we have the two tables, the movie database. So let's start. You start by what? Create database called movie. Create database called movies, like that. And then execute, refresh, there it is, right? So we need to tell our server which database we are working with. Currently, we're working with the movies, just like that. And then create table called movie. Open that. We have ID. All right. I'm going to introduce a new constraint. So ID, it's an integer, it's a primary key. All right. It's also primary key. It also does what? It also auto increment like that. I'll explain shortly what that means. And then we have the title of that movie. It's a variant char of 100. And then the next thing I want you to do to write is what? The year, the release year. Okay, let me just go back here, just confirm. Yeah, the year. So the year is what? Date type, like that. Close it there. So once I execute this, we are likely to get green check. There we have it. Has it completed? Good. All right, let me do it again. There we have it. The logs create table was successful. So once I refresh over there, we get the table has been created called movie. The other one is what? Actors. So it's still the same procedure. So create table actors and then ID, it's an integer, the primary key to uniquely identify one row from another. Also auto increment, comma. The name of this actor, the variant char of 100. It doesn't have to be 100. You can give it any number as long as it's above 10. And then the name and age, just that. Age is integer. like that. Execute from the top. Now we have two tables. We have the actors and we also have the movie. Who managed to do it like that? All right, perfect. So let's go to this week's lab. So our lab is very easy. So we have our lab here, which I've written for you the code. Now for your work is just to create a simple database and then test them or what's happening. So first things first, come and copy it from here. Copy. Are we together? Click code, copy. And then come to where? That one. Let me clear. It's called CMD. So I'll move out of that repo. And then I'm now in my class folder, right? For you it will be database, right? Now git clone like that, press enter. If you're lost, the commands are written here. So all you need to do is just come and copy. Here, click here, copy. Then click this like that, like that, like that, until you get to the final one. So I hope you are together. Now, once you do that, okay. Oh, I haven't shared the link. Let me share the link. And then it's private. 1 minute, I turn it on. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, right now I know it's visible now. You can start doing it. So it's now public. Please go and access it now. Let me share the link. There's the link. I've shared the link. Again, this is classwork, okay? Not assignment. This is classwork, not assignment. Okay, I've shared the link. Please let me know if you're able to access the link. So what you need to do is just copy the link that I've shared and clone it. Are we together, guys? Right, I've shared quite a number of links, so please access any. So once you clone, come back to here, to your terminal. All right, you've cloned it, right? You've cloned it. Now the name of the repo that I've just cloned is written here, Lab 3. Again, this was taught in the Software Engineering Essentials. All right, so CD Lab 3, like that. CLS. I believe everyone is in the Lab 3, right? All right. If you're using a Windows, press this to list the list of files that are inside that repo. If you're using a Linux or a Mac, press or write ls to list everything that's inside. I know if I press enter for this one, Windows will reject it because it's not a Linux, it's not a Windows command. So what you need to do, if you're using a Linux or a Mac, use ls. For us Windows guys, use dir, this one. So they work the same. So press this. I believe my screen is now visible. Okay, then you press enter. Let me close my Visual Studio first so that we open the correct one. Press enter. Great. I believe everyone's in this the same page, right? So I have various scripts. We have for creating a table, we have for deleting, we have for inserting. Just the same thing that we've learned in class, right? Now we start with what? Our package dependency or project dependency. What is this? This is a package that our project depends on for it to work. All right. So come back here to our what? Terminal and write this. Okay. Have you guys, in your Python class, have you been taught about what you call not environment variables, virtual environments? Please react with a thumbs up if you've been taught about what you call virtual environments. Okay, so I won't touch on that. So come to our repo, copy this. So everything is here. If you're saying you're lost, everything is here. Copy this because that's the next thing that I want to execute. Pip install -r requirements.txt. Come to where? Come to there, and then Control V. It's not pasting. What's wrong? Okay, looks like I haven't copied it. Let me try. Let me go back and copy. There, it's copied. Now come back here. There it is. All right. Press enter. Once you do that, if you already installed it, it will say requirement already satisfied. But if it's your first time, it will install what you call MySQL Connector Python. I hope you're good up to that point, or CLS. Now, the next thing I want us to do is, okay, I've shown you how to create the movies database, the actors and the movie, right? Now I want to delete this database and then let's use the Python now to create. Because remember I said DBMS, one of the benefits of DBMS is integrating with any programming language of your choice. So drop database, movies, allow me to remove all this. So whatever we've just done with the shell, it's possible again to do with what? Python. There it is. We've deleted it completely. Now let's create a new one. Create database movies. Like that. What's happening? Yeah, movies error code already exists. Let me just refresh here. The memory. All right, cool. We've created it. So that's it, right? Right now it's empty, doesn't have any tables. Initially it had 2 tables. Right now it doesn't have any. Come back here. Oh, not here. Here. Open the first file. It's called create_table.py, right? Now, read through. Line 1, we start by importing what you call MySQL connector. Remember, I said that's the package that helps us to connect Python with MySQL server. Great. Now, come to line 3 up to line 9. This is where you add your password. Mine is this one. Please don't add my password. If you use it 1, 2, 3, 4, just write 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Then don't touch anything else. Just leave it like that. I'll just explain this. So the same thing that we've been doing, the same thing with that, but now we are doing it using what? Python. So create table, movie, ID, auto increment table, year, date. And we also have the actors, ID name, that. Okay, let's execute this. So Python, create like that. I hope you're all together. Then once you press enter, you get what? Tables created successfully. Come back to the workbench, confirm, refresh. There we have our table. Actor, movie. Are we together? Are we together, guys? React with a thumbs up. Great. Now, the one saying no, where is the challenge? Okay, let's proceed. Now, so we've created 2 tables. Right now, they are empty, right? Doesn't have anything. Doesn't have anything. Come back to Visual Studio Code. Now let's go to the insert. Where is insert? Insert is here. So what you are required to do is just read the comments. What did we say the comments are all about? Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you the comments in SQL. Okay, I'm going to show you the next thing. So here we do what? First, 1, 2, 3. Yours is 1, 2, 3, 4. Write that. So once we execute this, all this will be stored in our database. Let's do that. So I'm just doing what for one, then as a take away. Now for you, you'll have to do with the actors table. So Python, and then insert like that. Once I press enter, 3 movies inserted successfully. Come back, let's confirm if it's true. Initially it was empty. Now, if I retrieve again the movie, just like that, we get the movie. But now we are using what? Python. We're not writing the commands in the workbench. Are we together, guys? All right. So let's go to the updates. So you're not changing a lot of things. So what's happening is, so you see, we were it's written the query on line 14, insert into movie, the title and the year, and then the values. All right. And then here, this is where we specify the type of movies. All right. Okay, let me just change here because it was supposed to be movie. But anyway, just leave it like that. So movies. And then we can use the select. Let's try with the select to see what will happen. So let me pass here. 1, 2, 3. And then come back here. Let's write Python, select what will happen. Okay, there we have it. So it's either that I've written something wrong. Let me confirm my password. It's correct. Database is that. The name of the table. Perfect. Right. So Python select py. Let's try one more time. I keep getting this. I don't know where the challenge is coming from, but it has to be this space. Let me remove it and then try again. Just like that. Yeah, it was that space. So get what? Everything that's inside the table called movie. We have the Harry Potter, Gone with the Wind, and then Pride and Prejudice. So these are the same things that we're getting here, but now we are using Python. Are we together? All right. Now, let's go to the next one. We've touched on select, we've touched on insert, we've touched on create. Now let's go with the update. So the update also need to pass in my password here, like that. And then, so the code is still the same. So update movie set. Remember, when I was writing the set, title is equal to that. So I'll write my title right now as Terminator. And then when I execute this, so right now it's gone with the wind, right? For ID2. So once I execute by like that, we get number of rows that got affected is that. And then when I select again, we get Terminator. Initially it was what? Gone with the wind, right? But now it has changed to Terminator. That's how you can update using Python. Now, our final one, the delete, before we go to the next one. Now, delete is what? Let me pass in my password here. So with the delete, we just passing the ID that we want to delete. So we want to delete this one, Gone with the wind. Oh, no, it is now Terminator. Yeah, let me just retrieve it again. Yeah, that is Terminator. So we want to delete the Terminator. So if I write Python like that, we get number of rows that got affected. And when we select all, okay, not select from there, but Python select.py, we get only 2 records. Let's confirm if it's true. Retrieve again the table, and there, just like that. So you can also use Python to create, update, delete, and what you call the CRUD. So create, read, update, and delete. Are we all together? Yes. Believe.
Kaplan,
Yes.
please check, I think the chat. There are questions there. Maybe you could just go back a bit,
Wow.
kindly.
All right. All right. Cool. No problem. Sure. So where do I start now? Python is not recognized as terminal. Oh. Okay, apologies. Now I'm used to writing Python in short. So once you have Python added to your path, when you write py, your computer is able to know that you're trying to execute the Python command. But instead of writing py, just write the whole word Python like that, and then select .py, still the same. So if you're using Python 3, I don't know mine if it's except for Mac and Linux, guys. This is what you're supposed to write. Python 3, select, then you get. I know why mine is rejecting it because Microsoft does not recognize it like that. So for Microsoft, guys, just write Python and then select .py. There, it's the same thing. All right. Okay, I'm not seeing any other comments. So I believe you're all okay. All right, cool. Now let's get to the next thing, the comments. So how do we write comments in SQL? You guys were writing very funny comments. Yeah, week one assignment. So, for example, let's go with this one. I want to comment this one, right? So I want to explain to someone else such that if they come to this SQL code, they're able to understand what I was trying to execute. So there are two types of comments: the single line and then this multiple line. So with single line, you just add two minuses or hyphen, okay? Then space like that. Then tell the other software developer what you're doing, creating a patient table like that, just like that. Now this is what you call a single line comment, all right? This will not be executed by the server. And then we have what you call the multiple line comments. So with multiple line, it's like this, /, all right? And then you write everything that you want to write in between. If it's a paragraph, okay, like that. And then to close it, an asterisk or a star sign, then close it like that. So // and then like that. So that's a multiple line comment, and then a single line comment is that one. So okay, let me write the correct things. Stop writing gibberish. This is a single line comment, and then this is a multiple line comment. Oh, yeah. Like that. Are we together, guys? All right, great. All right, let's go back to our presentation slide. So there are a few things that we had not covered. We touched on the comments part. We also touched on where. Okay, let's go to the next thing. So the order by class. So let's learn about the order by. So with the order by, when you use the select statement to query data from a table, the order of rows in the result set is unspecified. To sort rows in a result set, you add the order by clause to the select statement. So for example, I've deleted all the tables. Okay. All right. So for example, let's just go with this one. Use movie. That's the name of the database, right? So select, okay, the title like that. All right. Also the year. From. All right. From. The name of the table is called movie. And then, not movies, but movie. And then order by. We order by either the title in ascending order like that or descending order like that. Then once I execute this, Just like that, you get Pride and Prejudice and then Harry Potter to follow. So we can also use the year. Let's try with the year in descending order. Execute from the top. Right now we have the Harry Potter. So starting from 2021, then 2014. Can also change it to ascending order, like that. Like that. You get? So the order by clause is only used to arrange either in ascending order or descending order. Are we together? Yeah, react to the thumbs up if you're okay. All right, let's touch on another command. Call it the where. So time is really gone. So the where clause allows you to specify a search condition for the rows returned by a query. So we use the where clause when you want to perform what you call a search condition. Then the where clause is used together with either the comparison operators or what you call the logical operator. So whatever I have here is what you call the the comparison operator. Again, as I said, don't be afraid to Google. Just Google here, comparison operators. So we have greater than operator, we have less than, greater than, equal, less than, all those is what we call comparison. Then we have what we call logical operators. Okay, so the and, or, and the not. Logical operator is a symbol or word used to connect two or more expressions such that the value of the compound expression produced depends on only on what the original expression, on the meaning of the operator. All right, so let's come back to our slides and see how we can use the where and together with the comparison and the logical operators. All right. All right. So open your SQL Workbench and then let's create a new table quickly. Yeah, just create a new table. Create a new table. Okay. You want us to create together? All right. So let's create a new table. Now, let me close all these. All right, let's create a new table or a new database. Let's call this database create database. Let's call this database school DB. And then execute, refresh here. There it is. Okay, not there. There it is. So I need to tell the server we are working with that. Use that, and then execute. There it is, our school DB, and then create table. Let's call this table student. Open that. The ID is integer. Oh, I forgot to explain to you what this constraint means. Auto increment. So with auto increment, it means that I only want to have unique integers such that if the server, I want the server to take care of the integers for me. For example, the last one was 1, so the server will auto increment to be 2, the next one, all right? And then 3, like that. So auto increment, ID auto increment, like that, comma, and then the name. I want to keep it short and simple, and then the fees, decimal, 10 values, and then 3 decimal places. Like that, execute from here. Great, now we refresh, then our table is there, the student. Now let's insert into student. Okay, open that, and then now specify the name and the fees, like that. Close it. Values, and then the values now is maybe John. How much is John paying? John is paying maybe 60, like that, 6,000, comma, and then we have Mary. You have Mary in this class. All right. We have Brian. Let me execute that. All right, I'm gonna comment this. So to comment that, just highlight and then press Control /. So I only want to execute this. So to execute that, we click there, and then we get a green check. So let's select all. Select all from students. There it is. So as you can see, the 3 decimal precision. Okay. Yeah. So once we do that, now let's see how we can use the where. All right. So select maybe the name. From students, all right, where the fees is greater than 2,000. Once I press enter, it will show us all these users. So there it is, John and Mary. These are the only students who have a fees above 2,000, all right? So we call this what? Greater than, right? So if you can also change it to less than, but now we not get any value because we don't have any student that's less than 2,000. So if you want to retrieve all of them, you'll have to say greater than or equal, and then you get all the 3 of them, John, Mary, and so we can also fetch the fees that they are required to pay. There it is. Are we together? So these are the comparison. Okay, so the equality, the greater than, you can also write the equality. So to do that, you get Brian only. Brian is the one who's required to pay 2,000 of fees. So that's what called the comparison. Now let's go with the logical operator because of time. So the logical operator, we have the and, the or, and the not. So what will happen if I write where fees is equal to 2,000 and I'm thinking of something. The ID is equals to maybe 3. If we retrieve, we are likely to get Brian. So the and. So what happens with the and? Allow me to explain the and. So with the and, it evaluates to true if both expressions are evaluated to true. So meaning that if this expression is true and also this is true, you're likely to get an answer. But if I change here to maybe 1, we'll not get anything. We'll get an empty an empty result. So if I press enter like that, we get empty because this expression has to evaluate to true, and also this one has is also expected to evaluate to true. But if I change it to or, we're likely to get an answer. Why? Because the or is not that strict like the and. With the or, it evaluates to true only if one of the expression evaluates to true. So if one of the expression matches to true, with the or, it will give us a result. All right. So that's all about the or. And the not, let me negate. So the not negates. So select where fees is not equal. Okay, not equal is not written like that. Not equal to 2,000. Let's see what will happen. Okay, I'm not getting results here. I'm getting an error. Good. Now you have SQL error in SQL syntax. Check the manual. So select fees. So we can always come and research. Say the and, the or, and the not. The logical operators. So with the or, let me use this one. The W3. Just come here and then once you open, you're able to see like all of them. So I want to see the not. Okay, they have a not. Okay, great. So with this, I've just been given an example that I can use like. So I'm gonna introduce about this, what you call the like. This one's for matching pattern. So what does that mean? So with the like, when you see a like, then percentage sign, and then something, and then other characters, it means it wants to match a certain pattern. So for example, allow me to remove this. So for example, we want to search maybe with the name, where the name is equal to where the name like, let's say we want to search for anyone with the word Brian, and then the other ones does not matter. Let's see what we'll get. We'll get Brian. So what this means is match anything that follows after Brian. We don't care about it. So as long as the B, okay, is there, anything that follows after does not matter. So where the name not, okay, well, if we use the not, will we get Brian? There we have John and Mary, just like that. You're able to use the and, the not, and the or. So that's what we call the logical operators. Yeah, believe that's the end. Gerald, could you kindly share the... Meanwhile, can I get someone to read for us what? And then I'm gonna take in questions. All right.
Zeppelin, I didn't get that. I must share what?
Okay, just a minute. Let me text you. Okay, so can I get someone to read for us the checkpoint question? Agent? Any gent who would like to read? Yeah, there. So Ibn Wafula. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
How are you?
Yeah, yes, Zablon. Yeah, I had
Yes.
a question and I'm not really certain if I'll ever be chosen. So do I use this chance to read or I ask my question?
Okay, shoot.
Okay, my first request was, can you share your slides? Because I noticed the ones in the portal are quite different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then okay, in the last week's assignment, you said that when it comes to the demo database, that we were supposed to first create it.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, what about in the
Yes.
second query? If I used drop database if exists, then demo.
It's
Am I still
totally
correct?
okay. You're totally correct. So what
Okay.
that means, you see that command if exist, meaning you want a silent error, all right? You don't want an error that's gonna annoy you. You see the way we are getting errors? Let me share. I don't know if I'm sharing the... Okay, I'm not sharing the workbench. There's a time I got an error. A screen share. Coming back to our workbench. I don't know if I can be able to get that error. So you want silent errors. You don't want errors, okay, like this one. So you see, from this error, I was able to get, but when you write drop, let's say, for example, drop database if exists, what this means is, first, server will check, does this database exist? All right. If it doesn't exist, it has already been dropped, and then it will drop it for you. And then when you try to execute this, you'll not get any error. All right. So you'll not see this like X, X, X. It will be silent. That's what it means if exist. So it checks first if it exists, and then it will drop it for you. If it doesn't exist, it just ignore.
Okay,
Are we
then
together, Eben?
yeah,
Mm.
we together. Okay, on the last one is that okay, can you guys, Gerald, can you try to be more lenient when it comes to joining the WhatsApp groups? Like
Lenient
there
how?
was the
Maybe
one,
Gerald could explain.
okay, Gerald. Okay, like there was the one that we were supposed to join according to our understanding of database. So I tried to join
Mm.
I
All right,
tried to
I've
join
understood.
two different groups,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't letting because okay, my situation is that okay, I did computer science a while back ago.
All
So I
right.
literally did database one, advanced database as units, but as per now, I
Nice.
can't recall exactly what normalization and all that is.
Mm.
So I'm trying to fit it into two different groups because I can't recall that. So I'm trying to catch up, and at the same time, I'm trying to expand my knowledge. But I
All right.
realized I was denied access to those groups due to that.
Did you violate any of the instructions that you were given there?
The only thing that was there is that we weren't supposed to join two groups. Only that.
Okay, I'm gonna
So,
check on it, but meanwhile, I'll allow Gerald to explain about the WhatsApp. Gerald, are you there?
Yes, Zablon, thank you so much for that question. To the learner, I'm struggling to see what his name is. Is it
It's called Ibn Wafula.
okay, great.
exactly.
Thank you. So the issue about the WhatsApp, my assistants on the group chat is let me just check if they are here. Just a second. Okay, let's just do this. Yes. I think he's here. Pumelelo, would you like to speak and explain why we've gone that route
On the community side,
on the community? Yes.
okay, they were okay. My query was I'm not permitted to join any of those groups because I was trying to join two different groups.
Yes.
So my
So,
situation is I saw the stipulations on where if you are this level, you're supposed to join this particular group, right?
mhm.
Okay, my situation is a while back, I studied computer science. No, I did database one, database two. But over the years, I've actually forgotten it. Now, in the process of crossing over to software engineering, now is when I'm trying to actually recap on all that. So
Okay,
I actually
respond.
think I belong in two different groups.
Let me respond.
Mhm.
This is a database group, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody in the group is just as equal as you are.
Mhm.
Okay. Whether
It's
you've
true.
got a computer science degree or you've
Uh-huh.
got a degree in masters in statistics and mathematics, that is not the criteria for joining the group. Okay. The only reason why we have grouped you according to your skills level is so that we can give our attention to those that are new. Okay?
Okay, got you.
So, when I am speaking to you, Eben, you understand what is VS Code. You know how to push your code. You know how to find stuff. You know how to solve your own errors. By the time you come to me, it means you have tried. Okay?
Okay.
Whereas there is someone who I need to sit down and explain what is VS Code, explain what is SQL, and I need to repeat constantly. So, not to bore everybody, We have decided to segregate you according to your skills. If you've been someone who has been in the industry, then you should not be in the novices group, because in the novice we repeat things every time. Okay? So you are just supposed to be in one group. It does not matter which group you are in, as long as you are in one group. And let us kindly follow the instructions given by the assistant, because if you join two groups, now we have redundancy.
Okay, so Gerald,
Mm,
if I join a single group and I'm
yes.
trying to catch up, will I
Catch
miss out
up.
on what's being told to the other group?
No. We don't send content on the group. We assist learners on the group. And we don't send.
Okay, I've understood you. Thank you.
Yeah, so the groups are there to assist what we could not do during class hours. So if you are behind, then we are able to assist you. Even on the novices group, the novices are very active. They help each other quick. The engineers understand that, okay, this issue can be solved like this. So if you send your issue as an engineer, you send it through, you are able to get a very good answer from your colleagues, because you guys are like-minded, you know.
Okay, so I'm actually denied access in any of those groups.
Yes, because you did not follow the instruction of joining one group, but now that you understand, you can join again.
Okay, thank you.
So
I
let
really
us just
appreciate it.
follow. No problem. Let's follow instructions. Remember, we are not
Ah.
dealing with only one person. We've got 11,000 people.
Oh,
Okay?
sorry. Okay.
So it's very difficult for me and Zablon to be able to assist everybody. So let us just try and follow those instructions that are sent to the key. I see other people are still texting me on my DMs and texting Zablon on his DMs. Please understand that we've got lives. We are also people outside of work. So let us respect that as well.
Okay, thank you for that.
No problem. Back to
Okay.
you, Zablon.
All right, thank you, Gerald. Let's take in a few more questions now that we're in the question part. So, yeah, guys, can now drop your hands so that I
So
get
Zabdon, can
know.
you please share your slides?
All right.
I see they're more detailed.
Oh yeah. We're going to share our slides. I haven't really completed teaching. Please don't leave. If you know your friend has left, please tell them to come back, because whatever I'm about to show you guys is very important. How you're going to do the week two assignment. If you're left outside, you'll be lost. Now, I want to take in a few questions, and then let's take in some questions. So if you don't have any questions, just drop your hand so that I assist those with questions.